Good morning, everyone. My name is Brittany. I'm with Copper Creations. Today I wanted to go through how I'm going to make this Merica door hanger. So here's my inspiration picture. So we're going to have the stars up here, the red and white stripes, and then we're going to have Merica going through the middle. These are the supplies I'm going to use. I've got my white paint. We've got our red and blue paint. Our paint pan. We've got some tape to tape off the edges and use it for the lines. I've got two brushes here today, a sponge brush and then just a flat edged brush. I've got my American flag ribbon and of course our wooden door hanger. So let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to sand it down a little. Now I'm going to start off with a white paint. That way we can get a good base for all of our other colors. So I'm just going to pour my white paint into one of these. And I'm going to use a sponge brush. It makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to get the paint distributed evenly on there. So we're going to go in with some of this white. Just spread it all over. Sometimes you may even have to do a second coat of the white, just because sometimes the wood comes through the other side. But we'll see after we do this first coat how much extra we need. Alright, so we're going to let that dry for just a second, and then I'm going to go in with a second coat. You can see on here how it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It didn't give us the full coverage that we want our lines to look like. So we're going to go in with the second coat. So I'm going to give that just a few minutes to dry, and then I'll be back with the second coat. Alright, so I forgot to start the video when I was doing the second coat. So here's the second coat. We're going to let this dry for a little bit, and then we'll be back to do the stripes, the red stripes, and then put on the stars, and then we'll finish it up. Alright, so now I'm going to find the center. And I'm going to tape it off for my stars. I've already cut out my stencils while we were off camera, so I'm just going to place this here just so I can see exactly where I want it. So I have my stars here. I am going to get some scissors and just cut some of these stars out. That way I can place them wherever I would like to. Alright, we're going to start with the bigger ones. And we're using these as a stencil. We're going to paint the blue over these. That way we can have, excuse me, that way we can have the white to come through for the stars. And I'm just placing these random. There's no technique for this. Just placing them how I would like them. So like how that looks. Now we are going to take our little weeding tool. I mean, not weeding tool. We're going to smooth these out just to make sure they're really stuck on there. And then we're also going to smooth out these lines. That way we can have crisp lines. Alright, now the fun begins. Gonna get our blue paint. Some blue paint in here. Okay, I'm gonna use this brush here. Very fluffy. And we're gonna hope that this turns out perfect. Okay, as you can see, I was impatient and already pulled one of the stars up because it just happens. So we're gonna go ahead and pull some of these stars. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this piece of tape up, but I'm not gonna pull the bottom one. That way we can make sure our our red lines, our red lines on the top are even with this bottom piece. So I'm just gonna cut as far back as I can. Actually, we're gonna pull this piece up and just pull that bottom piece out from under, just so we can make sure that it's completely the same line. All right, so Now I'm going to go ahead and line us up for our stripes for just the top, not the bottom yet. We're going to focus on just the top. I'm going to smooth it out. And I typically don't measure, probably should, but I don't. I just kind of eyeball it. Then we're going to paint the white pieces red. Now we will probably have to do 2 coats of this red because it's such a lighter color. It's not going to take as much as the blue did. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tape up while it's still wet. And just be careful with these pieces because they're still wet so they can get on your project. So this piece is probably going to peel just a little bit of that blue, but that's okay because we can go in with a smaller paintbrush and kind of fix up those areas. So don't be too frightened if you see a little peeling. We can fix it. See right there on the edges? That's okay, we can fix it. So I'm going to get a smaller paintbrush. Like this one, and we're going to go in and fix these areas with the blue. Okay, we're back and we are going to do our stencil next. So I'm going to move this paint out of the way for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and just pull it off this transfer piece here. Okay. I'm just going to eyeball it once again. Again, I should probably measure, but you know. Sure this is on here really well. I'm just going to smooth it down one more time. Make sure there's not any kind of bubbles. If you see any bubbles, make sure you get them out because it will bleed if you do not. Actually going to use a dauber for this, just one of these circular sponges. To me, you get better quality with the less bleeding with these. People may think different, and that's okay. And I'm going to actually tape the edges, that way we can ensure that we do not get any paint on our white. I just had a paintbrush with blue paint fall on my carpet. That is great. Love that. We will see the damage when we are finished. All right, so now on this stencil, we're gonna actually let this one fully dry. Sometimes when you peel it up, when it's not fully dry, the wood will come up as well, and we do not want that. So we're gonna let this dry, and then we'll be back to peel it off. Okay, so the camera cut off when I was doing my lines. So we've got our finished lines here. So now we are going to tape off for our other red lines on the bottom. We're going to pull this tape up. Alright, so this is our finished product. Well, it's not finished yet. I still have to add a bow to it, but we are finished with the paint. So let's see. Look at that. Just beautiful. Alright, so now that we're finished with all of the painting, I'm going to take this outside and we're going to spray some of this Mod Podge sealer on it. Let that dry completely, and then we'll be back to do the bow and we'll be finished. Okay, I actually decided to bring you guys out here with me to spray the Mod Podge on here. It's pretty easy, but we want to go through all the steps. So we got our can of Mod Podge here. I'm going to shake it up really good. It's really bright out here today. I'm just going to hold it away. We're going to do spray. We're just gonna let that sit out here in the direct sun. Props to my husband's grill. It's being a real good prop keeper right now, but it looks great so far. So we'll be back whenever that dries, and then we'll add the bow. All right, so we are back. Our door hanger is fully dry. So now we are going to add the bow and add the hanger, and then we will be finished. So let's get to that. All right, so I'm going to do some of this. And then we are going to cut a piece of our American flag ribbon. Okay. So this is going to lay on top of the bow. Like this. I'm just going to fold this over. And we're going to pinch it together. And I'm just checking to make sure that our bows on the end are even. And then we're going to set this piece on top. And once we get it pieced together, we can fluff it out some. I'm just going to take a zip tie and tie it together. All right, now I'm gonna fold these little flaps here, and then I'm gonna cut them to give you that cute little triangle look. And there we have it, our cute little bow. I'm going to find the right placement on here. I think I'm going to put this one in the center. And I like to staple my bows down. I feel like they're more secure that way. And for this one, I'm just going to use some jute string for our little hanger. I just folded it a couple times just to make it a little thicker and sturdier. All right, our door hanger is complete. Look how adorable. You can use this for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Just a perfect little addition to your front door. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any suggestions on what you'd like to see next, just drop it in the comments below. Have a good day.